And salutations, my moon children. It's Tori, the hope dealer of guided intuition, and I am here to break down from an intuitive level, coupled with some channeled messages and some tarot, what is going to be unfolding in this full moon in Scorpio. And honestly, the full moon in Scorpio is just what's really kicking some things off, because we know that we have 3 eclipses in 1 month coming up, either in June or July. We know that Mercury is going retrograde. We know that Saturn is going retrograde. We know that Venus is going retrograde. These are major planets when it comes to stability, when it comes to lessons learned, when it comes to karma, when it comes to love, when it comes to your life path, your life path, your destiny, all of these things. So the best way that I can sum it up, this is what's going on. Have you ever, in the intimate hour, okay, when it's just you and the divine, when you're in your intimate, quiet, sacred space, and you are being raw and authentic and real with yourself and true with yourself, and you're asking the divine, or the universe about love. When you're asking, when you're talking to the divine about, how do I walk away, from this relationship that's not serving me? How do I get out of my head? How do I open up? How do I get, what do I need to do to be successful? What do I need to do to be happy? What do I need to do to be at peace? What, when those questions, those deep, heartfelt, in your soul, questions, or you're asking spirit about the end result of things that's going to be beautiful. But firstly, maybe you need to shake something. Maybe you need to let go of something, deep within that's toxic to you, that's keeps you from moving forward. So if you have ever asked, how can you move forward? How can you let go? How can you expand? How can you do all of the things or the desires of your heart? What do you need to do? What do you need to know? If you have ever prayed something like that, asked a question like that in those intimate hours, this full moon in Scorpio is the answer, okay? It's the answer. How is it the answer? Because this full moon in Scorpio is the level up you've been praying for. What does that consist of? 9 times out of 10, if you're asking for a path of how to get forward somewhere, and 9 times out of 10, if you're watching this video, in order to really be successful in your career, it's going to take you to open up. And maybe you're afraid of opening up. Maybe you're afraid of putting yourself out there. Maybe you're afraid of going big or going home. When it's in contrast of where you're trying to go or what you're trying to get, it is toxic. Toxic. Oh my God, that word. Okay, toxic. So this full moon in Scorpio is showing you, and with all these planets going, retrograde and 3 eclipses, it's helping you, it's bringing the opportunity to clean up. It's showing you a clear path of what needs to go, so you can move forward in that thing that you prayed about, that you're desiring to level up in. And, it's really showing you what you need to move away from, what toxic behavior. This can show up in a toxic behavior, patterns, people, and situations that keep you away from the higher vibration, or another word, of the success that you desire. Okay. And that can show up in different forms, honey. Oh my God, with Venus retrograding, that's bringing up a lot of, how you show up in your love relationships. And it's just not in a partner, honey. That's in like anything that you love, family, friends, and it's really going to hit and ask us to evaluate certain things that are toxic behaviors, patterns, people, situations, okay, in your personal life, in your love life, in business and career, in friendships, in your spiritual path. It don't matter. What are you, how are you going about something, or what are you doing, or what are you allowing to happen that's in contrast to where it is that you're trying to go? And if it's in contrast of where of where you're trying to go, it's toxic. So in this full moon in Scorpio, we're being granted an opportunity to release that. Okay. So what is that going to feel like? It's going to feel like a tower moment. When the tower, like when you get like, damn, but tower moments are nothing to fear. Tower moments are really what needs to happen in order to build on a solid foundation. So what's falling away is anything that it's toxic, anything or pattern, a way of thinking, people, situations that keep you in a place. Okay. And the reason why I feel like it's coming in a tower, because it can be one way of thinking that you believe it's toxic to you. But then when you really get to the source of it, like here it is. I'll give my example. One of the things is that in my Venus is Capricorn. If you guys hear my nephew, he's 5 months, Cade, and he really wants me, but I'm recording and he doesn't understand no. So I'll give myself an example. One of the things is that my Venus is really how you're going to show up in your love relationships. Yes, in partnerships, but also anything that you love, friends, your friendships, any kind of relationship. You really want to take a look at your Venus. Because that's going to dictate how you really show up. Like I'm a Sagittarius, but in my Venus, it's Capricorn. All right, guys. So I just had to get my nephew Caden. So if you hear any goo goo gagas, that's what's going on right now. He will not act accordingly. So like I was saying, in my Venus is Capricorn. Okay. And Capricorns are some of the most beautiful creatures. Okay. I love me some Capricorns. And we have this, Capricorns have this shell of being hard on the outside, but they're really soft on the inside. So, Capricorns might come out like they're not vulnerable, but really on the inside they are. So you already know, Capricorns and trust. Pretty much how it is when I say you're being able, like situations are showing up of what's been toxic in your life in this full moon in Scorpio, so you can release it. And I'm going to get you one of the ways that I love to release. Okay. That's what I love about spirit. Spirit never will show you nothing and not give you a plan of how to let it go. Okay. So, for me, trust. Once you have my trust, you have my trust. But once that trust is misused, broken, it's very hard for me to trust you. Now, think about that. Okay, we've all had something like that. Now, if you have a hard time trusting people or situations, that means the opportunities for you to co-create with other beautiful souls, to have a loving relationship, to trust yourself to go after the business and the things that you desire. It becomes tension because whatever happened in the past or whatever happened in your life to have you mistrust in a particular area, be it in love and friendships. And I've had a lot of situations that happened that made me question people's trust. And I had a situation with this beautiful soul where, we had an incident and a betrayal took place, guys. And I truly forgave this person. However, I always kind of looked at them weird. Like when something go down, like, my mind just automatically goes to the shit end of the stick, like a hot mess. And, I felt the same way about a situation. And it turns out that in this particular situation, this person was genuine. This person was not wrong. However, it was more so me. Being that I have trust issues from what they did in the past, I was still holding them, in that place. And it wasn't something that I was intentionally doing because I forgave them. However, to forget. And one of the things that I had to write on a piece of paper, and I realized, there are certain, situations where, you need to have boundaries. Usually when you're hurt in an area, you shut off completely. To you're blocking that person out, and you're blocking anybody else or any other opportunity trying to come back in. So what happens is you have to release that. You have to move away from that, because if you have an issue with trusting, okay? If you have an issue with trusting, it's going to keep you from opening up to amazing opportunities. And one of the things that I am a firm believer in is I always feel like you can't heal what you hide. And a good way to release and let things out without judgment is acknowledging something, not soaking in it, staying in it, but acknowledging it. You acknowledge it. All right. You release it. You write it down, get all your emotions out, get all of the feelings out. You write it down. And I like to do a burn ritual. Okay. And pretty soon in July the 4th, the Self-Love Academy is launching. We're actually going to be doing burn rituals and moon rituals live via Zoom, with each other's, whoever decides to join the Self-Love Academy. But I love to do these because you might not realize it right now, but when you're writing, you really are releasing certain things. You don't have to know all of the details, but I'm telling you, an hour later, 2 hours later, a day later, a week later, it's going to feel different. But the thing is, you have to release it. You have to release whatever that thing is. So that was a toxic situation or a toxic pattern, okay, that I had to make a conscious decision to release. And, sometimes you're not aware of things. So certain situations will happen, which we're going to find out in this full moon in Scorpio, to bring you some awareness. It could be, self-sabotage, it could be overindulging, like whatever is if you got a weight goal, if you have this vision of how you see yourself, or where you see yourself going, and you're doing something that's in contrast of that, it's toxic. It's keeping you from getting to where you want to go. So this full moon in Scorpio is really going to illuminate that so you can bring it up for healing. Okay. So did I say that was a mouthful? I hope I said that right, guys. And I gave that example. And listen, this is what I want everyone to do right now, because I hold the energy. And if you're connected to guided intuition, you know that we are a place of love and healing. And I can't wait until in the Self-Love Academy where we can actually do this. And if we want to cry, we can cry, laugh, get all of it out. But in the comments section, I just really want you to write that toxic thing, that keeps what it is that you want outside of you. Because guess what? If you want a beautiful relationship, guess what? It requires trust. And trust, then after trust is vulnerability. But if you've been hurt in the past, if you've been let down, and that thing is still very potent and very present in your life, it's going to block out. You're not going to be able to receive that good thing. If you are a person that is prone to self-sabotaging yourself, when these amazing opportunities come your way, you're going to beat yourself up. You're going to talk yourself out of it. You're going to be like, you know what? I can't do this. This isn't, I'm not qualified for this one. No, the fuck, yes, you are. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your spiritual path, yeah, it might not be what everybody else is doing, but I created my own lane. Listen, I am a witch and I love Jesus and I love Buddha. I do whatever feels right to my soul. If that is singing praise and worship music, naked under the moon, okay, burning sage, reading Romans 19, then that's what it's going to be. Do you hear me? Okay? That's what it is. And, this full moon in Scorpio is giving you the courage to go to these places, to open up. This card flew out, guys. And this is what's coming in right here, right now. This is the opportunity you're being granted with, is openness. And it came out reverse, So listen, whatever is showing up is here to bring openness. It's here to open you up, Because guess what? In order to get to where it is that you're desiring, you can't be doing something that's in contrast to where it is that you're trying to go. It just doesn't flow like that. You get what I'm saying? If you're trying to go left, but you're going right, you're not going to get to the left. It doesn't work like that. You got to turn around. In this case, you got to open up. You got to release that. You got to look at it. All right. Not judge it, but listen, we going this way. And this is what this full moon in Scorpio is giving you an opportunity to, because Saturn is here, and especially for Sagittarius, honey. Okay. We know Saturn is here to teach you them hard lessons that, when you pass them, honey, it's going to be beautiful. But it's here to teach you self-worth. It's here to teach you, self-love, self-acceptance. It's here to bring you all of these things. That's what it's doing. With Venus going, retrograde, it's here to say, okay, what's not working for your love life? What are you, what needs to go so you can open up to this beautiful connection? So you can, this beautiful thing. I think I'm going to make a video where I'm talking deep about it, but I was having a conversation with a fellow beautiful soul. And, guys, my nephew is being so good right now. Like, y'all don't understand. He just really wants me to the point that he's just willing to slob down his little fingers and just sit and watch me. I love him. Caden's such a mystic. So I want to talk about this openness that this full moon in Scorpio is bringing forth. Okay. Openness is freedom from obstruct, which is the opposite of openness. It's clearness, is forthrightness, is expansion, being able to receive and be receptive, is receptiveness. There we go. So it says, having an open mind is a beginning for new possibilities. So there's something that you need to do new with this full moon in Scorpio. You need to have a new insight. You need to have, go for a new path. There we go. That's what's going on too. Look at the larger picture. New information will come to light soon. It says, having an open mind is a beginning for new possibilities. Look at the larger picture. New information will come to light soon. So sometimes when we are just looking at a situation from one point of view, okay, we can only see it from one spectrum. Like if I would have just looked at that person and like, they just doing the same thing that they're doing, and went there, instead of just being honest and real with myself. And that's another thing that this full moon in Scorpio is presenting you, with the opportunity to be honest and real with yourself. And some people don't know how to do that. Right, Caden? Which is toxic, because to be honest and open with yourself, that's listening to your intuition. That's listening to your inner guidance system that tells you when something needs to go, when something needs to stay, when something needs to start, when something needs to stop. So I feel like that there's an opportunity to really, allow that toxic energy from you not really listening to yourself or trusting yourself to leave. And this full moon in Scorpio. We also have, it says, obstacles are removed and a clear path appears ahead. Be honest and forthright with yourself and others. So listen, I had to be real honest with this person. And when we talked and we patched things out, I could have made a decision to continue this relationship, or really, I had to make the decision, guys. And I had to make the decision to walk away from that connection. So this full moon in Scorpio and just what's going on with these three eclipses and Venus in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, and Saturn in Saturn in retrograde is really promoting you to make those hard decisions, to take a look at yourself, to take a look at toxic behaviors, to take, a look at relationships and friendships and businesships and just anything that you are indulging in that is keeping you from the opposite of where it is you're trying to go is in contrast to that. What you prayed about in that midnight hour, honey, that dream and that vision for yourself, so I had to realize it's unhealthy for me to continue in this connection, in this friendship, knowing that the trust is broken. You know what I'm saying? Or, it just can't be restored. I love you, I forgive you, but I'm making a conscious decision to move on to friendships and situations that are in a higher vibration. And that's what this full moon in Scorpio is helping you do. It's helping you lift your vibration. So anything that is weighing your vibration down or keeping you in a lower vibration, you're having an opportunity to open up. In order to get to this opportunity of open up, it's going to require some openness from you. And it says, obstacles are removed and a clear path appears ahead. Be honest and forthright with yourself and others. Do not be limited by old, outdated belief systems. And again, the way that you're thinking, how you're seeing things, relationships that you're just in because of time. Time ain't got shit to do with it. I don't care if you have known somebody 16, 18 years for your whole life. If that individual is toxic, allow them to, or they have, I don't want to say toxic, if they have some toxic things that they need to clear up, allow them the time to clear those things up. Even if you identify yourself on, a divine counterpart journey, a twin flame journey, you believe in, if you believe that's your path. One of the things that I realized, because yes, you stand in a place of unconditional love, and I can't wait, to really dive deep and come face to face and really talk about the twin flame journey, because one of the things that Spirit has sat me down and really poured into me and channeled, the twin flame is a beautiful thing. This whole dynamic of, runner chaser, and this person is, ghosting you, and this person is hurting you and betraying you. Y'all, we gonna start being real right here on this full moon in Scorpio. Listen, that is a clear sign that whoever that is, whatever title you want to give, that person is unable to show up to where you are right now. Unconditional love is real. It's the purest love. And just how that friend that I had to release, I will always love you. However, to be in my life, okay, to be in my intimate circle, that comes with conditions. I will always unconditional love you, but I can unconditional love you across the front, across the street, 3 houses down, you know what I'm saying? Take 2 lefts. I can love you from over there. I don't have to love you in my intimate circle. And if you identify yourself on a twin flame journey, or a divine counterpart, one of the things that everyone always talks about is the fact that in order to have this beautiful relationship, it requires you to do what? Love yourself, know your worth, and accept who you are in order to have and make this connection work. And this is why people get, so discouraged about it. But guess what? That's a condition. Spirit showed me that. Spirit gave me that download. I was like, wow, that is a condition. In order for that dynamic to work, if you've been on a twin flame journey, you've heard that. You know what that is. Okay? In order for this relationship to work, you have to love yourself, know yourself, and be in alignment with you. That is what every person, including Tori, who has ever talked about a twin flame journey or even a soulmate of higher nature, of that higher vibration. We have all talked about that. And then we always talk about unconditional love is loving this person in a state of just where they are. However, if you're going towards a person, they're ghosting you, they're, neglecting you, they're treating you like bare minimum because they don't know how to love their self. Guess what? That's not in alignment with self-love, self-worth, and self-acceptance. So that's really keeping that connection farther away from you. Anybody, let's take all the titles off. If somebody is toxic or they are showing you toxic behaviors, even within yourself, okay? You have to remove yourself, period. Spirit gave me that download, and Spirit gave me that example. I was like, wow, so yes, the twin flame journey is beautiful, and I'm definitely going to bring it back to my channel because of, and believe it or not, with Venus in retrograde, I'm going to be talking about this. But I feel like that video deserves its own, like that topic deserves its own video, because so much deliciousness, is here. You understand me? Listen, this is the level up that you've been waiting for. That prayer, that whatever it is, it's yours. Okay? What is for you will never miss you. You can guarantee on that. If something misses you, or if it doesn't feel right, it's not yours, or it's not yours in this moment, and this full moon in Scorpio is going to show you that, and you have to be able to pull away, and the thing is, we believe that, when it comes to friendships and relationships, that we have to love this toxic person, or the toxic behavior of the person from in your intimate circle, when no. Unconditional love, I give freely. But when it comes to a love relationship and a partner, it does come with conditions. I can love you from across the room. You get what I'm saying? Because when Spirit gave me that download, I was like, wow, I never even seen it like that, And Spirit gave me the that example of the twin flame journey. And this is why people are having so much difficulty with it and experiencing so much pain. So yeah, it is a condition, even when it comes to your divine counterpart journey. You have to love yourself, know your worth, and accept who you are. Okay? So unconditional love is free. But when it comes to your intimate circle, or to be in a relationship with yourself, it's okay to have conditions. This is what keeps everything in balance, is what Spirit is literally downloading and telling me right now. And some people aren't ready for that truth, and that's totally fine. But if you've been praying, for the level up, this is the level up you've been praying for in the Scorpio, full moon in Scorpio. Because that truth is a little hard to swallow, but guess what? The more that you look at these truths, you release them, you create space for what is truly what's here for you to come to you. Okay? So, don't limit yourself. Open your mind to new ideas, a time to extend your knowledge and unfold into higher consciousness, baby. That's what it's about. Secrets are now revealed. Expand your awareness. Now is a favorable time for new opportunities. Be open and they will be evident. Drawing this card often signals a need to connect with the tender spots that reveal areas of pain. Do not shut down at the first sign of discomfort. Move through it. Be open to new opportunities for increased health. Not a time for harsh or hasty judgments. An unexpected resolution may be at hand. So this is what this full moon in Scorpio is bringing towards us. These truths might be uncomfortable. Okay. What's this card? Yeah, surrender. These truths might be uncomfortable, but everything is coming up so you can surrender. You're holding on to it. If you got all these bags in your hand, how can you open up? How can you receive the new bag that's in front of you? You can't do it. So let's just see what message. Yeah, fate. This card wants to come out. This is what this this full moon in Scorpio is bringing. Fate. Like, listen, what's meant to be gonna be. You understand me? And I really feel like with this openness, it's going to allow fate to do the work, to do what fate came here to do. Fate can't do anything because you are afraid to be open, which guess what? You can't get curious. You can't, open up. You're not going to go where your intuition is telling you to go. You're not going to do what your intuition is telling you to do, Do you know how many people would just be doing their dream job? And you get that notion like hit this person up and say this and pour your soul out. You never know what can come, an internship. You know what I'm saying? You never know by when you give this inkling to, hit up this person and, um ask to take them out. We got power here. Ask to take them out on a date. You know what I'm saying? Like do something. Yeah, we got dare to dream. So listen, what I'm feeling with this Scorpio, we might be fearing that, oh my God, it's going to be dramatic. But listen, you got to understand with what is leaving, okay? You better believe what is coming. This is what you've been praying for. This is the opportunity. This is the level up you've been praying for. We got faith, power, dare to dream. Dare to dream. Look at these beautiful cards that are coming forth. And we got get curious again. What is this about? This is what, I know what it's about. This is what this full moon in Scorpio needs you to do. It needs you to get curious. Get curious. Let go of the hurt, let go of the expectations, and just allow yourself to flow. Because maybe that's what's blocking it. Nothing can come in. So that get curious card it's ruled by fire. I love this deck. It's ruled by fire. And this talks about south, summer, transformation, action, okay, cleansing, quickness, power. When usually, when we are purifying something, we put it through the fire. So yes, whatever you might be looking at in this full moon Scorpio, the places that you're being asked to go, it's a little fearful. However, it's you going through the fire to be purified, because we know we put a diamond, we put that coal in that fire, it melts that shit away. It melts what don't need to be there away, honey. And then guess what? You get a beautiful diamond out of something so ugly, So listen, it's bringing your power back. This full moon in Scorpio, it's leveling the scales out, honey. That's what I'm seeing. And it says, get curious. A lot is said about how important it is to have a positive mindset, but not as much about a curious mindset, because guess what? That is so true. We want to say have a positive mindset, but it's really important to have a curious mindset, because even with the positive mindset, curious, it allows you to test, the limits. It allows you to come to the edge. It allows you to say, fuck it, throw caution to the wind and jump. All right. And that is going to be the best decision of your life. It allows you to honor yourself. It allows you to say, you know what, I'm going to go over there and ask her for that internship. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to start this business. I'm going to move on this idea. I'm going to hit this person up and tell them what's up. Like it allows you curiosity. I feel like it gives you the courage, to embrace the unknown. That's what Spirit just said. Thank you, guys. Okay. Curiosity gives you the courage to embrace the unknown. Okay. So it talks about curiosity can be the bridge to shifting our thought patterns. This is what you need. Get curious. What if I didn't just have these trust issues? What if I was open? What if I didn't, if I opened myself up to different opportunities, to different connections, to a group of people? What if I went down the spiritual path that I desire to go down? It's invoking these what if questions from you. What if, And then when those what ifs, when you start to ask those in a positive sense, okay? I feel like positivity and curiosity go hand in hand, honey. Ooh, Spirit just gave it to me. When you start to ask these what if questions when it comes to dare to dream, what if I dare to dream? Okay. What if I believe in faith? What if I step into my power? This is what's available for you right now. Not what if it goes south, but what if I dare to dream? What if I trust the divine? What if I trust fate? What if I trust myself? What if I stand in my power? You get what I'm saying? What if I do that? And then guess what? That puts you automatically, I know you felt that, it shifted your vibration. It puts you in a, you know what? Yeah, what if? what if I open this business? What if I go back to school and it freaking works out? What if I get this internship? What if I get this job opportunity? What if I start my business and it goes to booming and it just brings me a whirlwind of blessings? What if I open up to this person and they take me up, on this coffee date? What if it just goes amazing? What if I fall in love and they love me? Like, what if? What if I let go and allow this person to grow and become and evolve, and then they realize who they are and they step in their personal power? And what if we come together and it's beautiful? Okay? That's the direction that this full moon in Scorpio is taking you, instead of that other direction. Okay? What if I just get my camera and I just start? What if I just start? What if I just do it? That's the energy of this full moon in Scorpio. It brings blessing. Once you get washed of whatever the coal, once you allow the fire to purify the coal, once you face it, then you get to embrace this diamond stage. This is what's going on right now. Okay? So there is so much in the world we will never know, but to simply begin wondering about what is around you can snowball into passions and excitement you never knew you had. If you are unsure of where to begin, simply look around. How do flowers get their color? How do snakes evolve? Do dogs taste the same things as human? Nothing is too silly. Okay? And what the raven, you guys can't see it, but what the raven signifies on this card, it says ravens are one of the most intelligent animals on this planet. In fact, they can even outsmart chimps. They can make tools, solve puzzles, and plan for the future. They have quite a bit of tricksters in them and have been known to leave gifts for people. Okay, or open gates to livestock pens. Ravens have a sophisticated vocalization system with over 30 different patterns, but their curiosity manifests in many ways. One of the most impressive is they can mimic human voices. The raven can teach us how to be in a curious and playful state when we are approaching our challenges or need to solve a problem. Now, the raven, believe it or not, the raven, they're so good. And I didn't even look at all this beautifulness that these birds do. But what do the world paint it as? Bad? Because whatever happened, that ravens are always in most of the dark, scariest movies. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's time to shift your perspective of situations and come out of that, way of looking at things, release that toxicity so you can really enjoy the beautiful side. Listen, dark and light is going to be there. And I'm going to tell you something. This is one of the things that, we're shifting. Not everybody is going to shift with you. Not everybody's going to think like you. Not everyone's going to see, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's not, and that's totally their choice. But what this full moon in Scorpio is asking you, and especially with all these planets are doing, is what are you going to do? Time out for everybody else. Are you going to dare to dream? Are you going to dare to believe in faith? Are you going to step into your personal power? That's all that matters. Okay? That's all we're focused on, because we have karma. Because depending on what you do, every action, okay, will bring a reaction. This is what's going to determine what's going to happen. So that's what you have to ask yourself this full moon in Scorpio. And when you can really sit with these things, when you can allow the fire to purify you, when you can allow it to come up for healing, release, you are going to see so much beauty pour out into your life. So I want to invite you into a ritual, kind of like what you did in the comments. You're going to write some things down that really keep you from daring to dream, okay? You're going to write something down, that keep you from the energy of faith. What's the opposite of faith? Okay? Not having faith. What don't you believe in anymore? What lost the luster? You're going to write some things down to keep you from, or addictions or things. It could be self-sabotage. It could be a person, place, thing, some kind of substance. It don't matter. What keeps you from really flowing in your personal power? I want you just to write these things down, guys. I'm telling you, if you choose, okay, if you ain't never listened to Tori right now, this is the time to listen to Tori. Write this list down, baby. Write it. Get you a silver bulb. Take it outside. Get you a lighter, some matches, whatever it is, okay? And once you write these things, you set the intent that you are releasing this. You are letting it go. It is no longer yours. You are moving away from it. You are daring to dream. You are willing. You are open and trusting faith. You are claiming and stepping in your personal power, period. You're claiming it all back, because this is what this full moon in Scorpio has in toll for us, okay? And when you do that, honey, guess what? Keep it a chucking, okay? Ashay. It is finished. It is done. Whatever word that you want to use. And I'm telling you, kid you not. Watch how lighter and liberated things start to get for you. Okay, just by writing that down. Watch how much clarity comes forth. Watch how much freedom. Watch how much heaviness, moves away from you. Watch how whatever was addictive, you're going to find out that it's not addictive. It doesn't control you anymore. Watch how much you step into that personal power. Okay, so I love you guys. Listen, your monthly spiritual guidances are done. I'm currently uploading them on the channel. I just took a break, guys, from the daily guidances to work on the Self-Love Academy and to love on myself and to close out those healing sessions and to close out my personal one-on-one sessions. So that has been phenomenal. So many people desire to work with me one-on-one. That is going to be opening up, and we will work together for 21 days, honey, and watch the mystical, magical shit that unfolds in your life. Okay, I love you guys so freaking much, and I will catch you on my channel. Take care. Follow, she blazing.